What's going on, Facebook world, viewers, people out there, whomever? Happy Sunday, happy weekend, happy gajillionth day of quarantine, what have you. I know a lot of people have been putting posts out there talking about their own experiences with depression and anxiety and kind of just like the increased feelings of being overwhelmed by each one of these based on quarantine and the whole COVID situation in general. As a practicing counselor in the field of mental health and disability, it felt like my duty, my ethical responsibility, to post about some exercises and resources that you can use or recommend to a friend or whatever the case may be. It's killing me that I didn't get to this process sooner. I had meant to, but what are you going to do? Better late than never. Punctuality is a virtue of the board. So, but facts are out there. I mean, since this whole thing has started, domestic violence has been up. I'm sure we heard about that. Alcoholism, feelings of loneliness, bouts of depression, and much more. So the idea of this video is to help you build your arsenal a little bit, put some more tools in your toolbox, and I mean, it's mental protein, baby. Let's go. This is going to be like a multivitamin for your brain, so stick to it. So, first off, check this out. I got my tablet over here. This is pretty cool. It's doing gymnastics. You can flip it out. There's actually a keyboard on the other side of that. Yeah, I mean, when you have a tablet that's like a contortionist, the possibilities are endless. There's not much you can't do. That's sweet. Forgive me if I turn into Sir Rambles a lot during this. Been trying to cut these videos down, but guys, I'm going to keep it 100. I haven't ate a lot today, and I've been drinking this 1850 Pioneer Blend coffee. This stuff right here. And this stuff is straight up motor oil. Like, this is what you find in the church basement at an AA meeting. Like, bottom of the barrel, potent Folgers stuff. Like, don't get me wrong, like, it's great, it gets the job done. Once you get past the taste, it's the elixir. It's, magic potion. It's strong, and it's got my brain moving like a Ferrari mind with Ford brakes, so it's not bad. I just bought that in bulk on a whim, never had it, and so that's that. Let's get down to it. First, we're going to talk about mindfulness and meditation. Here are some of the common reasons why I hear people refuse to meditate, people don't, or stop meditating. 1, it's too hard, they can't do it for themselves. 2, the stigma attached to it. I mean, come on, don't blame anybody for that. Like, what's the stereotype we think about when we think of meditation? It's like, I'm just a normal human being. I'm not a Buddhist monk from Tibet trying to meditate on Om. But that's not always what it's all about. Meditation, the purpose of meditation, and mindfulness in general, is to mitigate the impact of conscious thoughts, worries, and anxieties by placing them in what's known as a stream of consciousness. The way this is done is by placing thought on and focus on one particular task, such as breathing, humming, and subsequently, this moves those intrusive thoughts into our subconscious or a stream of consciousness. By focusing on that one thing, we're limiting the opportunity to put those other things in the foreground. We put them in the background into that stream of consciousness, and that limits the impact of those thoughts and worries. This could be done, though, through drawing, coloring, knitting, breathing, singing, reading, playing wall ball. I talked to a counselor I know whose client asked if they could do mindfulness by playing wall ball. I was like, that sounds phenomenal. Like, I play wall ball all the time. It's just anything you're doing where in that moment you're doing just that, focus on that one thing, thus not thinking about those other things that would be intrusive or anxiety producing. The goal is awareness of where you're at, awareness of what you're doing, awareness of your breath if you're breathing, and then presence. So being entirely focused on the now. What's going on in this present moment, not what you're going to have to be doing 5 minutes down the road, or like the homework you have to do later, or the chores you have to do, whatever the case may be. And then, of course, another goal of meditation would be mindfulness. So just experiencing the now. being present and taking in that whole experience of relaxing and getting tranquil. This brings along equanimity, calmness, peace of mind. But the other great thing about meditation is it actually calms the vagal nerve. This is this bizarre nerve that runs from like your brain all the way down to your gut. That's why they recommend belly breathing, deep breathing when they talk about meditation, focusing on breath from the gut. And this plays a vital role in the fight-flight response and threat detection. So like the whole like amygdala, fight-flight, threat detection, is my threat meter up or is my threat meter down? How am I viewing things as perceived threats or not? So when you're focusing on stimulating that vagal nerve, calming that can be done through humming and stuff like that. You're also reducing anxiety through limiting like perceived threats and stuff like that. So that really stimulates that whole brain gut like heart mind connection. Powerful stuff. Exercise. Let's go, baby. Huge proponent and advocate for exercise, even if it's for 10 minutes a day. Gets the endorphins flowing, produces natural dopamine, improves levels of serotonin, which contributes to your mood, improves levels of norepinephrine, neurotransmitters responsible for helping you sleep and regulating your sleep-wake cycle. Exercise is the source. I mean, it improves cognition, helps with memory, which is just like a fancy way of saying like gets your brain accelerated and going and thinking properly. Like you ever exercise and just feel like your thoughts are like all there, like you're ready to go afterwards. To do this, get creative. I find the number one reason people stop or refuse to exercise or avoid it is when they view it as a chore or view it like something that they have to do. So remember why you do it. It's for you, for sanity, not vanity. Just like find ways to remind yourself that the result's going to far outweigh the process of doing it, and you're doing it to improve mood. Get creative. Go on walks. Do yoga, free weights, body weights. If you can't run, do burpees. Fire up them quads. Get the heart rate going. Burpees are friggin' nuts. And that's the most important thing. Remember, it's about you with exercise. Make it fun. Find ways to make it enticing, not off-putting. For sanity, not vanity. That's my motto. Next thing, eating right. Sounds cliche, but like, come on. When now more than ever, when we have the chance to be as sedentary as like friggin' plants, just sitting there growing, you want to make sure you're eating right. Like, your mind is your motor, and if you're putting sugar and water in the gas tank, you're not going to yield positive results. You're not going to get very far. Eating right is the pixie dust, dude. This is the magic. In wellness, one of the things that people tend to stress to help with like eating properly is they advocate that you try to eat the rainbow. Like, and what that means is like sticking to your colors, focusing on fruits, vegetables, and things that have different colors. The list out there of what the colors do for you is extensive. Like blue stuff, blue, red, purple, filled with antioxidants, folic acid, vitamin C, you name it. Orange, carrots, sweet potatoes, stuff like that. Vitamin A, vitamin C, filled with potassium, responsible for lowering blood pressure, fighting off cancer, strengthening your immune system. Like orange stuff, that seems like the real power player in all of this. Like green, I mean, we've heard it since we were young. Vitamin A, calcium, it aids in digestion, but green stuff also helps with improving the quality of your sleep. So eating your vegetables more than likely going to lead to better quality sleep, and we repair when we're sleeping. Our bodies repair, our minds repair, it helps us the next day, so that's good. I mean, eating, come on. I had a client presented to counseling with an orange in his ear and a banana in his nose, and he's all frantic, wondering what's wrong. He says to me, counselor, can you help? Can't figure out what's wrong. And I'm like, it's simple. You're just not eating right. Orange in your ear, banana in your nose, like, figure it out. This is how you get things going in the right direction, eating right. Journaling and gratitude journals, sick, absolutely great stuff. Journaling, I always felt like is a great way to put thoughts to words. It in its own is another form of mindfulness, because when you're doing this, you're not thinking about any other things that you're doing. It's a good chance to re-experience your feelings without bottling them up. A lot of counselors believe that when you bottle feelings up, repressed emotion can manifest itself in uglier ways. So sadness could come out in the form of anger or rage, and you don't want to wait till it's broken to have to try and fix it. So it's a great way to practice emotional regulation as well, which is awesome. For my procrastinators out there, try it. Like, you just get started. There is a fine line between acting and doing. And once you get going, you snowball. Like, you start steamrolling when you're journaling. It's incredible. And then when you're done, it's like, it feels like a weight has been lifted off your chest. It's like your own individual counseling session. It's phenomenal. Gratitude journal, new thing out there. Not like new, but like ideas of stuff that you probably haven't really like thought about. The idea is to write down 3 new things every day that you're grateful for, but change it up each time you revisit the gratitude journal. So like, first day might look like, I'm grateful for this roof over my head, clean water, clean food. Next day, grateful for the meaning and purpose that my family provide for me, the excellent leadership from my supervisor, grateful that the Giants finally got a new coaching staff, and we still got that Quadzilla Saquon Barkley running the ball for us. Like, that's sick. And making sure you just like continuously building on what you built on in the past, and you'll see it gets more difficult over time. But gratitude is a great way to get spiritually connected, show gratefulness, be happy, recognize what you have over things that you're missing out on. Gratitude is just, it's positive psychology. It's putting solutions before problems and working towards creating a habit out of happiness. So, it's consistent with positive psychology. This was highly stressed by this guy, Sean Aker. He received a Bachelor of Arts from Harvard University, and this guy's a beast. Like, it's sweet. He then went on to receive his Master's of Arts from Harvard in Christian and Buddhist ethics, which is like, I don't know, kind of just trying to draw the line between positivity and that stuff. Like, there's got to be a connection. It's cool. Positive psychology, his whole idea is like, when we head into counseling, like, we have the tendency to become problem-oriented people as counselors, like focus on the problem, taking it and fixing it. And positive psychology is all solution-focused. So starting with rebuilding ways, new ways, creative ways to try to turn happiness into a habit. He's big on advocacy for positive psychology, but also making happiness a habit. So focus on solutions, putting behaviors and actions into place that are going to optimize our well-being and the way we feel. And he talks about the gratitude journal. It's pretty sweet. Sean Aker is his name, if you want to check him out. Spiritual orientation, great. I mean, another thing that gets highly stigmatized, like, people mix up spirituality and religion all the time. Spirituality, you don't have to be religious to be spiritual. And it's all about finding ways to transcend higher meaning in your life, like greater purpose, through being connected to something that's larger or perceived as more powerful than you. So finding meaning through walks in nature, finding meaning through scripture, finding meaning, the word of the Lord, finding meaning through connectivity, like connectedness to peers, anything like that. Nature is sweet. It has restorative properties in its own. Like, it helps you decrease stress and decompress, and decrease stress, decompress, decrease stress, decompress. Cool how that rhymes. Helps improve cognitive functioning and well-being. They say that if you look at something in nature for like 5 minutes, it has the chance to completely reboot your mind and free it of stress that it was currently experiencing, which that's the real crippler right there. So some of the topics we talked about, I mean, depression, I could talk for miles about this topic. I feel like what's going to happen is I'm going to let this one get out there, resonate, sit with everyone for a while, and then come back with my own topic on depression. Some of the research and evidence backing that, what it is, and then processes for overcoming that. But if you're looking for help, support, reach out. I'm available. If you need anybody to talk to, reach out to anybody. Just get talking about what's going on, what's bothering you, if something's bothering you. So hopefully some of those aren't too cliche and they could help with you. Again, we covered mindfulness, but like mindfulness meditation, not the stereotyped one, is that changing the way we look at it, focusing on one particular thing. It's that CBT, baby, that restructuring, reframing the way we view that before we try it. Exercise, eating right, that's the pixie dust. And then journaling and gratitude journaling. And then becoming spiritually oriented. So here's like 5 different techniques, strategies you can use for the time being. I'm definitely coming in hot with some more of these, and I'll fill you in. So stay interested, stay tuned. Thanks for hearing me.